Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to this Box Score Sports Podcast clip. I'm your host, Ryan, and on today's clip, what we're going to do is we're going to do NFL Tuesday takeaways. So I'm going to go through every game and really quick, in a minute or less, give you a takeaway that I took from every single game this Sunday. Let me know in the comments down below what were some of your big takeaways of the NFL football season for week 5. Now, I got to watch a fair amount of games this weekend, like I always do, but I don't get to see every single game. So if you're a fan of a team that I mention or don't mention, and I didn't read the box score right, so to speak, which is why it's called Box Score Sports, let me know in the comments down below also where I might have missed something as far as game flow or whatever the case may be. And please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you like what you're listening to. Otherwise, if you're just watching, thanks for watching. Anyway, why don't we go ahead and get into week 5 NFL Tuesday takeaways. Let's start with Thursday night football. The Atlanta Falcons beat the Buccaneers 36-30. My big takeaway is Cousins looks like Cousins again. 509 yards and 4 touchdowns. The Buccaneers defense is still depleted, obviously, but that's where this team has to take advantage of it. You got a lot of number 1 picks on that roster. So finally that offense looked really, really good on Thursday night. So good for Atlanta Falcon fans to seems like Cousins has recovered from his injury. Sunday, the started out with the Minnesota Vikings beating the New York Jets 23-17. Now, I was right about Minnesota this offseason. I thought their defense was going to be a key driving force. I thought with Brian Flores there for another year, getting a couple of guys, and including Van Ginkel, who had that interception for a touchdown, would help this Vikings defense be good. I would never have guessed they'd be 5-0. Congratulations, Vikings, for being 5-0 with Sam Darnold at the helm. I did not get that right. But the big takeaway I do get from this game, a lot of people pointing the finger at Aaron Rodgers, who threw the ball 54 times. I'm looking at the Jets run game, asking, where is the Jets run game? Look at 14 carries, 36 yards, and 2.6 yards per carry. Breece Hall is supposed to be pretty good. Allen kid has also been good. But where is their run game? They have to relieve some of the pressure that's on Aaron Rodgers with the run game. If they don't, they're not going to win a lot of games, in my opinion. But this is something that the Jets have to look into fixing. The Chicago Bears beat the Carolina Panthers 36-10. I'm just going to say this is Caleb Williams coming out party, kind of. He had a pretty solid week last week. This week, he and DJ Moore were on the same page against Carolina's DJ Moore's former team. 304 yards and 2 touchdowns. So good for the Bears. First couple of weeks, a little nervous. Got to be a little nervous, but patience always pays off, and that's why Caleb Williams, you got to be excited about that young quarterback. Cincinnati Bengals lose in the last seconds. Well, I think it was in overtime to the Baltimore Ravens after failing to connect on a 54-yard field goal where the snap was botched. 38-14, Baltimore wins. Now, right for Baltimore side, I continue to say this: Derrick Henry is the offseason signing of the year. It's the top signing of the year so far is Derrick Henry. He had a big run in overtime to put the Baltimore Ravens in position to win the game with that field goal. But I guess my big takeaway is that the Bengals defense is nowhere to be found. Not only did they allow 41 points against Baltimore, but 38 last week against the Commanders. Where is their defense? I don't know. That's a big takeaway. The Cincinnati Bengals, if they hope to get into the playoffs, which I think they said like there's a 6% chance now, 6% chance of the Bengals making the playoffs. I thought I saw that somewhere. They got to figure out their defense. The Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots. Dolphins won 15-10, and all I have to say is woof. Rough game. But as a Dolphin fan, we will take a win. I think the big takeaway is Drake May has to start if you're the Patriots fan. Like Brissett is doing an okay job, but it seems like if in the fourth quarter the Patriots are down by any more than a field goal, the game's over. And that's the way I felt. And then for the Dolphins side, the special teams guys, we gotta figure that out because that was rough on Sunday. It should have cost us the game. The Washington Commanders 34 and the Cleveland Browns 13. Watson, this is my big takeaway. Watson 8.5 QBR. He just doesn't look it just he doesn't look respected by the team. So I don't know. Can you go to Jameis Winston? I'm not sure. They're paying Watson a lot of money. So I don't know. We'll see what they do with that. And as far as the Commanders go, can we just give credit to their defense? Their defense has been pretty solid in some of these games. In this game, they had 3 sacks and 9 tackles for loss, including an interception. So the Commanders defense really showed up. The Jacksonville Jaguars 37 beat the Indianapolis Colts, who only scored 34. And 2 takeaways I have is if everything pans out right, Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas as a duo will be a problem in this league. I really feel like Thomas was a really good pickup for Jacksonville. We saw flashes of how throughout the weeks this week it kind of culminated to the potential that duel can be. So good for Jacksonville to get their offense on track. And for the Colts, Joe Flacco, the timeless one. How did no other team like the Dolphins, okay? How did no other team think about picking this guy up is absolutely stupid to me. And it's funny to me how the Colts actually the last 2 years has kind of looked better with the veteran quarterback than Anthony Richardson. I do wonder if they just no, they got to play him, but it's kind of surprising to me. We knew that coming into the year last year, Richardson would be very raw, and that maybe he would need a year to sit. The Colts didn't do that, and now I'm wondering if maybe they missed out on a potential of like sitting him for a year behind Minshew, and then or Flacco now. But yeah, Flacco looked amazing. uh, Ageless wonder at this point. Okay, the Houston Texans beat the Buffalo Bills 23-20. Josh Allen did not have himself a game, but one of the big takeaways is the concussion protocol is a joke, right, guys? I mean, like we can all agree on that. He clearly had a concussion, and as a Dolphin fan, we've seen enough concussions. How he went back in the game is absolutely stupid. He was 9 of 30. He wasn't even playing that good either. So they should have just sat him the rest of the game. But this is where like player safety being important to the NFL is like the biggest joke, the biggest lie they tell you. Between this and Thursday Night Football, it just shows you that they really don't care about player health. Otherwise, Josh Allen would not have gone back in the game. And for Houston, found a way to win. 4-1, good for them. It doesn't seem like they're clicking on all cylinders yet. They've won 4 out of 5 games, so good for Houston. The Denver Broncos beat the Las Vegas Raiders 34-18, and really this comes down to me, the quarterback position for the Raiders continues to be their Achilles heel, which is not a good position not to have. I will say that Brock Bowers really showed up. And has been showing up as the rookie tight end, and that might have been like a really good pickup for the Raiders. But it hasn't translated to wins because you don't have a quarterback. So it doesn't matter. You can have all the skill position players you want, but it isn't translating to wins right now for the Raiders, which I feel bad for our Raiders fan that joins us every now and then, Matt. The Broncos, 34 points. Bo Nix looked competent. He looked good. He looked like he's figuring things out. And I love that him and Sean Payton have a good enough relationship where they can like get into each other's faces. That's the type of quarterback your coach and your quarterback should have, because it helps with communication sometimes, and you can get things off your chest. The 49ers lose to the Arizona Cardinals 24-23. I'm not sure what the 49ers are kind of doing. Mason had 89 yards, and maybe somebody in the comments can explain this because I did kind of watch this game, but I didn't kind of like realize it. 14 carries, 89 yards for Mason, and yet the Niners led this game most of the game. I don't understand why he didn't get more touches, more carries. They seem to have ran the ball on the Cardinals pretty easily, 4 yards a carry or whatever it is. So I'm just kind of shocked that that's the or 6 yards, like 6 yards a carry, something like that. Anyway, I digress. Arizona, fun team to watch. I think that what's interesting is the NFC West is more open than I thought it was going to be this year. I thought the Niners were going to dominate it, and it looks like the Niners are struggling a little bit. The Rams lose to the Green Bay Packers 19-24. I was saying at like week 3, I said the second best signing of the offseason was Saquon Barkley. I might be wrong. It might be Xavier McKinney. McKinney has 5 takeaways, 5 interceptions, I think, in the last 5 games. An interception in each game. Good for him. What a ball hawk. What a addition to the Packers defense. Um, Jordan Love continues to be probably in most recent years the biggest boomer bust quarterback I've ever seen watch play. He had that 4 yard interception for a touchdown on. He threw it. I think he caught it at the 4 yard line and walked right in the end zone. And then he had that triple coverage. He threw it, I think, to Reed. Nailed him on that bomb. Had no business throwing that ball, but did and completed it. So I don't understand this kid yet. And I think we still have to see what he's made of. But boomer bust from throw to throw is crazy to me. And for the Rams, just get healthy. That's all you need to do. Kupp and Puka Nacua are supposed to come back after the bye week, which is this coming week for the Rams. The New York Giants beat the Seattle Seahawks 29-20. This is probably an upset, maybe the biggest upset of the week, unless if you count the Cardinals and the Niners, probably. But Daniel Jones is looking pretty competent again, which I find fascinating. And they did not have neighbors out there to kind of relieve pressure, but who they had to relieve pressure is Tyron. Oh man, Tyron Tracy Jr. I couldn't read my notes. Who had 129 yards, 7.2 yards a carry. What a find so far. Like this is obviously just one game, but 5th round pick running back. Again, guys, this is why we don't draft running backs in the first round. This is why we don't pay running backs a ton of money, because you can find running backs maybe. Hold on to that. I thought going into the next couple weeks, if he doesn't show up, then I'm going to look foolish for that statement. So good for the Giants, and they keep pace in the NFC East. That's going to be a fun division to watch play out. If the Giants are good, the Commanders and what they're doing, and then the Cowboys and the Eagles, that's going to be a fun division to watch. Seattle loses a chance to go, I think, 4-1 here, and they lose a chance to kind of take a strong hold of the NFC West. This is another one where I'll probably need comments, because although I paid attention to this game, especially down the stretch, 7 carries for 30 yards for Seattle. Why they were leading, I think, most of the game, some of the game. It was a close game either way. How do you only run the ball 7 times? Not sure about that. Okay. Dallas Cowboys 20, Pittsburgh Steelers 17. My formula for the Pittsburgh Steelers is you got to keep them under 20 points or you're going to lose. They didn't do that for the Cowboys. And excellent last drive by Dak Prescott to get into the end zone. He didn't have himself a great game. No quarterback will against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Let's make that very clear. But when it came time for crunch time, Dak Prescott showed up. Good drive by him. What a touchdown. Monday Night Football. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the New Orleans Saints 26-13. They lost Derek Carr like 3/4 away through the game. But my big takeaway from this game, Kareem Hunt had 102 yards rushing, and Juju Smith-Schuster had 130 yards receiving. So remember, Juju went to the Patriots last year and kind of fell off. And then he comes back to the Chiefs, and he looks like a solid wide receiver again. I think there's a reason. And then Kareem Hunt looks like a solid running back. Again, I understand like you can find running backs anywhere typically, but the fact that Kareem Hunt was a free agent is kind of blows my mind that he was available on the market. Chiefs get him, and he hasn't made an impact since Pacheco went down. So that's what I have for my NFL Tuesday takeaways for each and every game. Guys, again, let me know in the comments down below what were your takeaways for this past weekend of football. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for listening, and we will talk to you all soon. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.